In this video, I'm going to go over 7 reasons why you might not be getting any sales with your print-on-demand business. These reasons are all a bit different from each other. It depends on your situation, which one applies to you, but I hope some of this will help you identify why you're struggling, what you need to do to increase your sales moving forward. Reason number 1 is that your niche is too competitive. This is probably one of the most common ones that I see out there. If people tell me that they're struggling and they send me their listings or their designs, usually they've entered niches or they've created designs that are hyper competitive, which means, yes, you can get sales, but getting sales organically without investing into ads is extremely difficult for these topics. And typically, what I mean by this is it could be hobbies or job titles, occupations that are extremely popular, like the nursing niche, for example, the hobby of gaming, fishing, things around this area. Or if you're thinking about seasonal holidays, it might be creating a design that says Happy Father's Day or Happy Halloween, Happy Valentine's Day, like these really broad, extremely competitive topics and designs which have already been done 1,000 or probably more like 100,000 times before. So if your niche is too competitive, what you can do is you can either find lower competition niches, which I have a lot of videos about on my channel, or if you are in a competitive niche like the nursing niche, the gaming niche, try and find sub niches, and those are subtopics within the overarching parent niche that have less competition but still have demand. So for example, there's different types of gaming, there's different types of nurses. You want to target a more specific audience to make it easier to get a sale because you have less competition in that scenario if you niche down. I also have a separate video on the channel showing you how to find sub niches with a variety of different tools. So if this is something that you struggle with, then do check that out. Reason number 2 is your niche has no demand or too little demand. This is almost the opposite of what we just discussed. If you're trying to find sub niches and you kind of niche down too far, or you have a very obscure topic that you're designing for that hardly anyone is interested in, obviously you're not going to get sales. And this is not always easy to gauge, especially as a beginner, but some indicators of demand for a niche would be the BSR rank on Amazon. If the niche or the topic that you're designing for only shows you a lot of BSRs in the millions, then there's probably not a lot of demand. That means the shirts or the products are not selling very well. BSR stands for best seller rank, by the way, and that's essentially a number that helps show us how well a design is doing or how well a product is selling in relation to other products on Amazon. The lower the BSR rank, the better. So for Merch by Amazon products, a 100k BSR or less is selling really, really good on a regular basis, and we typically say that designs or listings with a 1 million plus BSR are selling quite bad or not very regularly, maybe like a couple of times per month. BSR is one thing that can help you out here. You can see the BSR on Amazon if you have a Chrome extension installed called DS Amazon Quick View, or another one would be Productor for Merch by Amazon. So I highly recommend that, especially if you want to sell on Amazon. That's very helpful. Gauging demand on other platforms is a little bit harder, but you can do it on Etsy quite well, for example, by looking at things like bestseller badges, the favorite count. You can look at all of that for free within your niche, within your topic that you've designed for. And if you don't see anything that has many favorites, okay, then there's probably not a lot of demand. In terms of paid tools, there's Everbee, for example, that can help show you how well designs or listings are selling within a specific niche. And that way you get a better idea of, is there enough demand here before actually entering a niche, or you can kind of test your niches to see, is there any sales happening here or are these dead? Reason number 3 is focusing on the wrong platform. And this is something I've unfortunately seen a few times where people put a lot of energy into one marketplace, into one platform that either doesn't suit them or it's just a marketplace with very low potential. For example, Redbubble. Redbubble is a good platform to start to get used to the process of print on demand because it's easy to use, and it kind of gets you used to SEO, uploading, designing, placing designs on different products. But the potential is not what it used to be. Even someone like Juna, Detour Shirts, who's definitely one of the best in the field in terms of print on demand YouTubers, his designs are amazing. He's been doing print on demand for, I don't know, like 20 years now. even he is getting, I might be wrong, but he's been sharing his sales recently. I think he's only getting about $200 per month in terms of royalties on Redbubble. That's still a good amount of money, but that's someone at the peak of their print-on-demand game who's been doing it for absolutely ages. So people that are new coming into this, it's very unlikely that you're going to get many sales on a platform like Redbubble, unfortunately. It's good for practice, it's good for getting used to things, but do not put like 2 years worth of energy into this marketplace expecting to make thousands every single month. If a few extra dollars here and there would really make a big impact on your life, then yeah, Redbubble might be worth it for you. But for most people out there, I think focusing on the wrong marketplace can be detrimental to your sales. The big ones that you want to ideally have a shop on are either Amazon through Amazon Merch or Seller Central, or Etsy with a custom Etsy store, or if you can do it, Shopify, have your own Shopify store and run Facebook ads to that. That takes some more budget, but those are the ways to actually make more money with print on demand. And there is some other good platforms that are kind of in the middle between Redbubble and between Amazon and Etsy, such as Tostadora, Displayed. Those are quite good from my experience. But again, if the platform that you're currently working on isn't working for you, try a different one. It might be the wrong marketplace for you. Maybe your style doesn't suit. Maybe the marketplace is just dead, doesn't have any traffic. Those are big reasons why you might not be getting any sales. Reason number 4 is your designs are bad. This is, again, something that is very normal as a beginner, that your designs are going to suck. I'm sorry, but most people, unless you're already into design, unless you have a bit of talent for it or a passion for designing, you're probably going to have bad designs, which is okay. You need some repetition, some practice to get better at this. But chances are, if you're a print-on-demand beginner, your designs are not competing very well with what's already out there. The other people that are established within your niche or wherever you're selling, they probably have better designs than you. So why would the customer choose your design if the others look better? That's literally a simple reason why you're not getting sales, is that your designs look worse. I'm not saying that to insult you. Like, my designs look pretty rubbish when I started out as well, and I was struggling to get sales with them. But if you think this might be the reason, then focus on your design quality. Actually try and watch more tutorials about creating better t-shirt designs rather than just pumping out a lot of designs that look bad and hoping for them to sell. You want to spend some time, first of all, to improve the quality before you carry on and design more stuff and actually publish it online. If you're new to this, if you're not a designer at heart, then also look into pre-made graphics. That's another good way to kind of get around the issue of not having design skills, or look into AI art generators, which can help you create nicer looking designs. But you should still look into some of the basics of t-shirt design, such as hierarchy, font selection, color schemes, and make sure that you're able to create a decent looking t-shirt design that's at least as good as your competition, if not better, because that's where you start to get sales, is if your designs look as good as the competition or better. If they look worse, you're really going to struggle. Reason number 5 is your listing SEO is bad. Again, this is very common with beginners, and I don't blame you. But with your listing data, the keywords that you're using in your listing, you want to include things that people are actually searching for. Ideally not have a lot of fluff that just, kind of describes the design or says, oh, this is a very, very beautiful, perfect GIF, blah, blah, blah. Like, ideally you want to have relevant keywords to your niche and to your target audience, and think about what are potential customers typing in. It's hard to talk about kind of in a theoretical way, but I do also have videos going over how to build a listing, what sorts of keywords are important to include. I also show in one of my videos how I would go about writing a listing. So I highly recommend watching those if you haven't seen them already. I also recently made a video showing different tools, free and paid, on how to find keywords. And I think, was it all free tools? Can't remember exactly, but I made a video with 5 different tools that can help you find keywords to build out your listings with. I also kind of explain in there what sort of keywords are important to use. So basically, one big reason why you might not be getting sales right now is that your design is not being put in front of the customer, because they might be interested in your design. It's just that whatever they're typing in, you are not showing up in the search. That's the issue. If your listing SEO, your search engine optimization is off, if the keywords are just not really relevant, or there's not enough relevant keywords for the niche or the topic that people are looking for, then yeah, you're not going to get sales because the wrong people will find your listing, and the actual potential customers will miss it because it will never show up in search for them. So SEO, it's not the most important thing, I would say, with print on demand. It's more important that you're in the right kinds of niches. Then you don't have to have perfect SEO to get sales. But if you are struggling and your listings are very bare bones, they have a lot of fluff words, like filler words in there that are not really relevant to the design, the target audience, or the niche, then definitely look at optimizing your keywords. Reason number 6 is probably one of the most common reasons why beginners especially are not getting sales, and that's because you haven't given your designs enough time. I know that kind of sounds weird. Sounds like the typical thing a guru would say, just wait longer and it will work. The reality is that most designs, as print on demand sellers, once you upload them, there will be a few weeks where they do absolutely nothing, if not a few months even. And depending on the time of the year, it could take even longer. So for example, in January, February, it's very hard to get sales with new listings that you've just uploaded because it's a very slow period for t-shirt sales. Whereas at the end of the year in Q4, which would be October, November, December, is quite a hot period for t-shirts because people are starting to buy Christmas gifts. So it's easier to get sales more quickly than it usually would be throughout the rest of the year. Having more patience and giving your designs more time to get indexed on the marketplace, to start getting found by customers, and to eventually get that first sale is very important. And this doesn't change. Like, the longer you do this, you realize that whenever you upload new designs, especially to evergreen niches, evergreen topics, it always tends to take time. It's very rare, actually, that a design that you upload will get a sale within the first 24 hours or 48 hours, or even in the first week. There's also some evidence for that in my free print on demand community server on Discord, where every now and then, this is quite rare, but every now and then someone will post, I just uploaded this yesterday and I already made a sale. And they kind of post it as an achievement because it is so rare. So no matter if you're getting like 50 or 100 sales a day, the achievement of selling your designs within 24 hours of uploading is still a very respectable and very cool thing to happen, because it rarely happens, right? Most of the time, you are going to have to wait some weeks, if not a couple of months, for your designs to gain some tractions, if they are in the right niches, if they look good, and if they have good listing SEO. Those things still have to be ticked, but yeah, if you're not getting sales and you've only just started 2 weeks ago or even a month ago, that is very normal. You're at the beginning, you're still learning, and it's the same for me. When I upload new stuff, it takes a few weeks to start selling. Reason number 7 kind of goes off of that point a little bit, and it's the fact that you might not have enough designs out there yet. Again, if you're a beginner and you've uploaded 100 designs, you might assume, now I should start making a lot of regular sales, which you might do, depending on how good your designs are, your niche selection, etc. But 100 designs is not really that much. You might sell the odd one after giving it some time, but you're rarely going to jump up to like a decent income, a decent regular sort of stream of sales with just 100 designs. It's just hard to achieve with print on demand. And I'm sorry to say that most people that are successful have created thousands and thousands of designs. If that's something that kind of puts you off, the thought of creating multiple hundreds of designs or even a few thousand designs, if that's putting you off, maybe this is not the right business model for you. There are definitely ways to create designs more easily than you might be doing it right now. For example, one thing that I like to do is create scalable designs. You can kind of have one template of design and then swap out a single word for a spreadsheet of 200, 300 words, and that way create hundreds of designs very quickly. That's one method to speed up the process. Or what you can also do is, if you have some designs already out there, you could kind of recreate them in a different color scheme. You could have one version for dark t-shirts, one version for light t-shirts, and sometimes you might find that one version sells better than the other. So having created both versions, which doesn't take very long, has actually been a good benefit to you. So creating more designs is kind of the most simple advice that I can give you to start getting more sales and it is a big reason why a lot of people are not getting sales, is that they just don't have enough listings. What you also have to realize is that a lot of the progress that we make as print-on-demand sellers comes with the data that we get out of existing listings. Meaning, if you've created 1,000 designs and say 100 of them sell or 200 of them sell, then you can analyze that data and see, okay, these 200 have sold. I'm going to make more designs like that. And the 800 that haven't sold, I won't really, replicate that same style, or I will ignore those niches, those topics. I won't really make more of that. That means that the more designs you create, the more easy it's going to get for you to create designs that sell in future, because you've already tested so much beforehand. And now through that testing, you kind of have more of a sniper approach rather than having to put a lot out there and hope for it to sell. You can have more of a narrow focus and know, okay, this already worked in the past. If I do similar things in the future, they're probably also going to work. So 100 designs, even 200 designs as a beginner is not really a lot to work with, unfortunately. So you are, in most cases, going to have to create more if you're not getting any sales. You might have heard that print on demand is dead, it's too saturated, and at this point, there's no reason to carry on trying. If you're wondering what my thoughts are on that statement, make sure to check out this video next.